Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss the uploads that come up. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest. So if you're interested in the Kutika podcast, you'll find a playlist for that. For news and trends, there's a playlist for that. Exclusive with MD90, a bunch of playlists that are created based on your interest. So the easiest way to navigate the channel is head straight to the playlist and you'll find what you're here for. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Right next to the subscribe button is the join button. You click on the join button so that you can become a member of the channel. You support the team on the production and a number of things that we're doing here, and we appreciate that.
Or as you may be aware, government had communicated to say all communication with regard to the funeral process of Edgar Lungu, the late president of the Republic of Zambia, should be done through the secretary to the cabinet, that is Mr. Patrick Chagwa. No member of the United Party for National Development, no any official from the government side should issue a statement around the ceremony or the burial or the court case or that is ongoing in South Africa between the Lungu family and the government of the Republic of Zambia. But obviously some people are making statements, and one of the people that made a statement with regard to the process was Mweetwa, the man that you see next to President Hakainde Hichilema on the right there. So, and then should have been like a day ago or 48 hours ago, he made an apology to the Lungu family, pretty much apologizing for the post that he had done on his Facebook page and other social media platforms. He apologized for the statements to have been insensitive, and also he apologized to the Secretary of the Cabinet and the government, saying in as much as him making any further statement was going against what was directed by the government, he apologized for that. And that statement went attended to just like that. And as of today, a new development has come off those apologies that were circulated a couple of days ago. That's especially from Mweetwa. So George Mutonga put up a post earlier on just like 54 minutes ago, and he was asking to say, I am hearing that Mweetwa has been suspended. Is it true? If this is true, it goes to show that it goes to show you what I was saying earlier. Larry is a politician and should go for some political position, like a member of parliament or something. That's where he will thrive. So simply saying, trying to shut Larry Mweetwa now will be very difficult because he's got political ambitions, and that's where he would thrive. Otherwise, in a civil service or being a civil servant, you will not be able to conform to the penal code of what is required in government. So, and then later on, a statement was put up by the Patriotic Front, also somewhat confirming the same suspension. So, according to the Patriotic Front, obviously they spin the story to push their own agenda. So they say, this is an article from the Patriotic Front. They say Larry Mweetwa was suspended for issuing insults against Edgar Lungu family on Facebook. And then they put up a statement with regard to, according to a letter that was published by government, allegedly. So they say in a letter, Director of Technology and Science suspended for issuing a sensitive and unauthorized statement on his Facebook page. So this is in accordance to a letter dated 25th August 2025, signed by Minister of Science and Technology, Brilliant Avenzu to Mweetwa. As you may be aware, Cabinet Office circular, they cite that. Let me find the official statement. That's the official statement that came from the Ministry of Technology and Science, which was shared by George Mutonga. So he says, I just got the letter, and this is not making any sense. For a first-time offense, if indeed it's an offense, a verbal warning was enough. Why should he be suspended? So George Mutonga is arguing to say Larry shouldn't have been suspended in this case. Only a verbal warning was supposed to be given to him. Anyway, that's his personal opinion. The government operates on a different code of conduct. So it's either you conform or you simply stay out of government. So the other advice he had given to Larry, where you're saying he probably should seek a political position or run for office, That would be the best advice. Otherwise, trying to change the operations of how government works, I don't see that working out. When you get into government, you either conform to the code of conduct or simply stay out. It's as simple as that. And then let me see if I can view what the letter says. So letter dated 25th August 2025. Director, Dr. Larry Mweetwa, Director of Technology and Science, Minister of Technology, staff discipline, yourself. It is come to my attention that between between 20th August and 23rd August 2025, you willfully and without lawful authority wrote or otherwise posted on your personal Facebook page account information relating to the administration of the funeral and burial of the late 6th Republican President, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. As you may be aware, Cabinet Office circular minutes, they cite a date there, clearly stipulated that the Secretary to the Cabinet will be the sole and exclusive source for all official statements on the ongoing court case, the burial process, and that of all ministries and government agencies. We are required to refrain from issuing public statements or commenting on the matter. So simply stating the reasons why he has been suspended, and obviously they state at the end of that particular circular that's alleged to have come from that ministry. They say, in the meantime, you are directed to stay away from your work from work until the matter is brought to its conclusive end. So simply saying you are suspended until further notice. And then he was required to reply to this particular letter today, right now, 3rd September 2025. So that's a circular that was shared by George Mutonga, alleging to say it came from the ministry. So different sections of society are confirming to say actually there's a legitimacy to that letter has been suspended. And people, it seems like it might be part of the conversations that are ongoing in the background between the Lungu family. Might have demanded to say anybody that issued an insult or what they allege to be offense against them should either stay away from government office or suspended. Maybe it might be one of those conditions. If that's the case, so Larry might be later on fired, and then maybe if the president so wishes, he may deploy him into another section of the government. But at the moment, he's been suspended until further notice. So I don't know if the Lungu family would demand to say actually he's fired, then they may come to an agreement. No one knows, because they've kept all those conversations, the interaction between the Lungu family and the government off the radar until an official statement will be communicated. On the other hand, Boma Nusamba has been given a new sentence apart, in addition to what he's currently serving. And then also Joe Malanji has also, there is a judgment today, and there's an update to that. So the Patriotic Front simply put the image of Boma Nusamba, Joe Malanji, and then say it is well because of what played out in court for Joe Malanji. To which Reverend Walter Wambazi advised to say, United Party for National Development, UPND leadership, a warning. You see all those previous regime leaders being persecuted with jail term savings. If your fingers are dipping in the proverbial cookie jar for self-gain, mark my words, the chicken will come home to roost with you too. One day you have heard. So he's simply warning the UPND, simply saying what you see happening to Boma Lusambo, Joe Malanji, and everyone else that was in government just 4 years ago, can easily happen to the UPND. They're not exempt from that. So if anyone is feeling generous to have access to public resources for their personal gain, it's just a matter of time they'll face the same dancing beat that is playing right now against the Patriotic Front former leadership. There are more images. So Economics and Financial Crimes Court acquits Malanji of illegal possession of Gibson Royal Hotel in Kitwe. So he has been acquitted on one case, and then the other convictions are yet to be passed. So the judgment is, according to the UPND, they say sentencing set for tomorrow, September 4th, 2025. Meanwhile, a night in Chimbokaira waiting fate. So it seems like Joe Malanji has still been taken to Chimbokaira prison as he awaits his sentencing tomorrow. because he's been acquitted of one case, but the other cases has been found guilty. It's just a sentencing that is going to be handed over tomorrow, and that's what the UPND is reporting over in that case. Obviously, Tonse Alliance acting chairperson and PF acting president Given Lwinda led the alliance members at the Lusaka Magistrate Court this morning to show, in the show of solidarity for former Foreign Affairs Minister Joe Malanji and former Secretary to the Treasury Fredson Yamba. So Given Lwinda and a number of opposition leaders were at court in show of solidarity, and those are the images that were shared there. And then obviously the conviction of court convicts Yamba. Former Secretary to the Treasury Fredson Yamba has been found guilty in 2 counts of willfully failure to follow procedure regarding the management of public property. Lusaka Magistrate Irene Wishmanga found that Yamba irregularly authorized the transfer of 108 million kwacha to the Zambian mission in Turkey for the real estate procurement. Yamba jointly charged with former Minister of Foreign Affairs Joseph Malanji, and their judgment is still underway. So that was earlier on today. Magistrate is yet to rule on whether or not Malanji is innocent or guilty of the 8 counts of possession of property suspected to be proceeds of crime. So that's what happened in court. And obviously, Chief Etayari used the opportunity to jab at Makebi Zulu. He simply says Makebi's client, Joe Malanji, has been convicted on 7 out of the 8 counts. So it seems like, according to Chief Etayari, Joe Malanji has only been acquitted of 1. The other 7 counts, he's been found guilty. So he's just simply jabbing at Makebi Zulu's competency as a lawyer. He's been questioning that of late. He seems to have a fight with Makebi there. And then President Hakainde Hichilema met a number of UNZA students just a couple of hours ago. And and that's a new leadership from UNZA, executive, accompanied by a number of students that went to see the president at State House. So the Daily Mail says, UNZA students rally for Hakainde Hichilema. Over 4,000 marched to State House in solidarity with the president. So that's what happened. Those are the images from State House when the University of Zambia students went to meet the president. And obviously, you can see a number of interesting individuals. There's that character there. I'll show you an image. They call him Rango, if you've seen that cartoon, or with regard to water supply. He was also a contender. I think he's even part of the executive. And then the president obviously wrote on his personal Facebook page. He says, we are privileged this afternoon at State House to host thousands of University of Zambia students from both the Great East Road campus and Ridgeway campuses, who came to unveil to us their newly elected student leadership for the year 2025-2026 academic year. We reiterated our headline message that government values education as it is the best investment equalizer and inheritance. So that's the president. He was happy to meet the Momas and the monks there, and they're an interesting interaction. While Zambia's stock market has been listed as the world's best performer in 2025, up by 55.8% year to date. That's Bloomberg. That's according to Zambian performance of our economy. And then that's President Hakainde Hichilema State House earlier on meeting with, that should be the president of the ZASU executive. And obviously, you see the young lady there. I don't know exactly the positions each of them hold, but yeah, they went and met the president, and then they had a good time at State House. On the other hand, you say Patriotic Front Central Committee member Dr. Canisius Banda, who was also UPND vice president and Hakainde Hichilema's running mate some time back when he was in opposition, says President Hakainde Hichilema needed him by his side to properly serve the people in accordance with their expectation. In an interview, Dr. Banda, who is also former UPND vice president, said the president's ministers were not telling him everything, and that they uploaded everything that he does. And then George Mutharika simply told him to say, I mean, you left the UPND on yourself. You thought Hakainde Hichilema wouldn't win the election. So it's not you if your cards didn't play out as you planned. And then that's one of the guys that has been training from the University of Zambia. Not went to visit the president. They call him Rango. I'm sure you've seen the cartoon. If not, let it be as it is. But yeah, so some interesting images that came from State House, where the University of Zambia students were interacting with the president earlier on. While Shifetayari is offering his consultancy, he says, I'm not a fortune teller or a magician, but I can help you strategize your political campaign at a fee. It's a consultancy, but I am not cheap. If you can't pay my fees, then you cannot win an election. Time is now. If you are contesting elections next year, he says, use his services. Probably it have to be consultancy via Zoom meeting because he's a fugitive. He's running away from his court cases. And so if you feel like you're standing, Chifetayari is hoping that you can send him some money so that he can offer you advice. And then someone in the comment section was saying, you've been running for various political positions and you've never won any. What makes you think you'll be able to win an election for someone else? To which Chifetayari responded to say, no, I've been losing because I lack financial support. If the resources that some of these candidates have, you would have been probably a member of parliament or even president as he aspires. Even was it mayor when he ran for mayor when he caused that drama? So he feels. While his patriotic front, Mao's consent won't help. That's KBF. Obviously, the fights continue because Chavinga is the legal president of the party. So that's according to Kevin Fuwebo Aria advising the Patriotic Front, simply saying, in as much as Mao Samba has admitted to say what he did was an illegality when he held that convention, the fact that most of the names have been changed at the Registrar of Society, Pakra, and the documentation reflect Chavinga as the party leader. Even if he provided that consent, nothing will change. So I don't know if his strategy there, he wants the Patriotic Front leadership under Given Luwinda to submit under the Zambia Must Prosper, or whatever strategy he's using. Let's wait and see how it plays out, because it's been rumored to say Given Luwinda and KBF are not in good terms. And in reality, Given Luwinda is the man that is running the Patriotic Front, the version at least that as members of parliament. Now he's advising him to say Chavinga is the exact president of the Patriotic Front. Does it mean he wants that version of the PF to submit under Zambia Must Prosper? Which I don't see, quite honestly, given when there is more inclined actually to even submit under Fred Membe if it comes down to that, as opposed to KBF. Yeah, he needs to have a strategy of how to co-opt those members to come and submit or work with the Zambia Must Prosper as a ship that they will ride with, as opposed to the Patriotic Front. Let's wait and see how that plays out. Obviously, in the opposition, and then News Diggers says, tell us our mistakes. Don't wait for 2026. It is not like we know everything. That's the minister advising. And then also President Hakainde Hichilema says, where we make mistakes, shout reasonably, and we will address it. He addressed, probably that's the statement that was taken from one of the addresses that he had at State House with his UNZA students, simply saying, I mean, if there's some grievances that you have, shout reasonably. Yeah, so those are some of the news headlines. And that's the news, ladies and gentlemen.